Already,
coalition, a broad-based
Oburu,
government.
Junet, Wanga, they have sold ODM to Ruto. It was sold in Kirigori.
There's no evidence.
Did they say only ODM? And what is the evidence to that effect?
I've just told you.
Waliuza chama kwa pesa ngapi?
We know these things, my
if
friend. We have been around for a long time.
No, explain this to us.
When Rigathi tells you your wife is pregnant, go and buy diapers.
Let's explain this to us, Mheshimiwa. So you are working currently with DAPK and Wiper and everybody else. Have you bought them?
No, I've not.
So why is it that when UDA is working with ODM, then they've been bought?
You see, they have been bought. That is why they want to kick out Sifuna, the Secretary General of the party.
No, let's talk about
that is why. No, listen,
so why?
You asking me why.
Yeah, have you bought this
No,
Wiper
I've not
and
bought
DAPK?
anybody. They don't.
So why is building the other coalition between ODM and UDA a matter of one buying the other and not coalition building?
Because the people who sold ODM don't want Sifuna. Because Sifuna has refused to sell ODM to William Ruto. That's why they have called an NDC to kick him out. And that will be the death of ODM. And that's what Ruto wants. He wants to kill ODM. He told me myself that I'll kill this ODM. I cannot allow
Again, that
such
is
a strong
hearsay. So we cannot verify that statement because that was a conversation
Go and ask him
between
when
the
you
two of you. How much was ODM bought for?
I don't know the figure, but a deposit.
So how then do you know it was bought?
A deposit has been paid.
How much deposit?
What?
How much is the deposit?
That is a story for another day.
No.
So you're the one making the allegation.
I'll go and find out also.
You're the one making the allegation.
Ukasema sisi kazi yetu ni labda kujua zaidi.
Pia nyinyi mfanye kazi kidogo, mimi nimepatia nyinyi tip, nyinyi mfanye hiyo ingine. You are also investigative journalists. Go and find out the figure. Okay. And let me tell you what happened. My brother, just open up your eyes. I've done oral literature. I studied Luo customs. Death and burial is a very strong and emotive issue in the Luo nation. Okay? Raila Odinga dies. Before his body arrives in Kenya, ODM has changed hands. In an African setup, and among the Luo have studied oral literature, you don't inherit a man before he's buried. ODM, Raila was the leader of ODM. He dies. A team is sent to go and bring his body. Junet Mohammed conveniently becomes sick. He doesn't go to collect the body. Suluhu gets sick, conveniently doesn't go to collect the body. Oburu, conveniently, the brother doesn't go to collect the body. Before the body arrives, National Executive Council is convened. And the leadership of ODM changes hands. Raila Odinga is inherited before his body arrives in the country and before he is buried. It has never happened in an African custom. ODM had already been sold, and the coup was done even before his body arrived in this country. Yeah? And that is why they want to kick out Sifuna, because Sifuna cannot agree to that scheme.
The statements of the ODM being sold is the one thing you keep referring to, but you can't tell us how much.
Why should we I've asked you,
conversation? And you keep referring to Sifuna, that is one
person.
That is just a fallout with one person.
No, you are low. Doesn't it bother you? That a man is inherited before he is buried.
I'm not the one answering the questions. You're the one answering the questions.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a question.
You're the one answering the questions.
For your own mind.
Why would you say it's been bought?
But why don't you? Why are you not asking me to explain?
We're asking you to explain how much was it bought for, and you're not telling us.
Lots of money.
How much?
A lot of money.
What was the deposit?
Lots of money.
Is it because one person leaves, then now a party has been bought?
Lots of money.
And I've asked you the same question. Have you bought Wiper and DAPK, the ones you're working with?
I don't know why you want to bring Wiper and DAPK.
Because it's a coalition. You're the one who's told us you've been in politics for long. So we're trying to understand.
I don't know why you want to play advocate for William Ruto. Aren't you bothered as a Luo that ODM is getting finished? You should be bothered. That is your vehicle. That is a vehicle that Raila Odinga developed for the community.
Is it not giving you an opportunity as DCP maybe to be solid and work with?
To do what?
To work with
the ODM.
I am saying,
and even accommodate.
I am willing to work with like-minded Kenyans, like-minded political parties. But I am saying we are still waiting. We are observing the political space. The destruction of ODM is imminent. Whatever little will be left or whatever will go away, we'll see whom we can work with. The Wanga, Junet, Oburu wing will go with William Ruto. Whatever else remains, because I have seen Akina Sifuna, Akina Babu, Akina Orengo, they are steadfast that they don't want to destroy Laila's legacy. They want multi-party democracy to work. They want a strong political party. The Akina Orengo are very clear that you cannot finish ODM.
Is that the wing of ODM you want to work with?
There?
Is that the wing of ODM?
I don't know what will remain. Let's see what happens on Friday.
You just said that they are
I'm just saying. I am
that's
listening.
the Linda Mwananchi team.
I am
where
listening.
James
I'm
Orengo is Edwin
listening. I'm
Sifuna.
listening.
Are you working with them?
I am listening to Orengo. I'm listening to Babu. I'm listening to Sifuna. And I agree with him that we need good, strong political parties for Kenya's democracy. I'm in agreement with them.
So you're likely to work together?
Yeah, why not?
Have you had a conversation of working together?
Not yet, but why not? Politics, as I told you, is dynamic. We can work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are you willing to have a conversation with Oburu Oginga?
I have no problem. I can work with anybody.
Okay.
I can work with anybody who wants to work with us. We have no problem.
Including President William Ruto?
What?
Are you willing to work with President William Ruto?
No, I'm not willing to work with President William Ruto. He's bad for the country. He's destroyed the Kenyan nation. We had very good education system bequeathed to us by Mwai Kibaki. Free primary education. He has destroyed it. We had day secondary school bequeathed to us by Uhuru Kenyatta. He has destroyed it. We had Leader Mama, destroyed. He has sold public assets, Safaricom, Kenya Pipeline, JKIA.
But all these are being done by the approval.
We have a shell of a country.
But
are being done by the approval of the National Assembly.
No.
Which is an entity given that mandate to do so.
There is no approval. And by the way, the National Assembly is also captured. Yeah? It's not a house that now represents the people of Kenya anymore. It's a captured house.
Including MPs who are allied to you, you say are captured?
Mine are the minority. The majority have the way.
When did this Damascus moment for you appear? When you now noticed that the person described as your brother is running the country down?
1 year down the line after
you were impeached?
1 year down the line after we came to office. 1 year we had problems.
But you never said anything.
I said it
that year.
I said it internally.
You only talked about this after you impeached.
I said it internally, but when I was still in office, I said not.
Why didn't you resign?
Why should I? I was not elected by William Ruto. I heard him saying that he gave me an opportunity. He didn't give me an opportunity. I was given an opportunity to lead by the people of Kenya. The person he has given an opportunity is Kindiki. I was elected by the people of Kenya, not William Ruto.
When you were friends, in fact, I'm quoting you again, you had said that President William Ruto, you were not to be known if it wasn't for President William Ruto. In fact, at the time, you were having a camaraderie with him, saying that he's been holding the hands of other leaders, including yourself. Why has that changed now?
That was then. But that does not make me daft. Because I was friendly with William Ruto, I have no brain. The minute I started seeing the country is headed in the wrong direction, I told him no. When I was in office, my friend, if you remember, I called a press conference in Mombasa on 26th of June about abductions and extrajudicial killing and told him off. I said, Mr. President, don't call our kids criminals. These are our sons and daughters. I stood with the Gen Zs when I was in office.
At that point, there was already a conversation about your impeachment.
But don't say, no, that was June. Impeachment came in October. I didn't speak when I left office. When he sabotaged the war on drugs, on the fight against drugs and alcohol abuse, in Nyandarua, I told him on his face, why is your CS Interior and PS Interior sabotaging the war on alcohol? I heard him saying that I was taking money from cartel.
They said you are extortionist.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants to say. If that was true, it should have been one of the charges of the impeachment. It wasn't. That is an afterthought. After I have really put him to task and I have created a huge one-term movement in the country that is sending him home. The reality of one term has just sunk to him. I have told you, I told him publicly, don't sabotage the war on drugs and alcohol when I was in office. I did not start telling him off when I left office. And one of the reasons why he had to get rid of me is because I was opposing him from within the cabinet. When he brought the finance bill, 2024, I was the only one voice in the cabinet to say no. This is not acceptable to the people of Kenya, and the people of Kenya will have a problem with it, and we shall have an egg on our face. And it came to pass. I went back to the cabinet, I said, Mr. President, I told you, after the Gen Zs forced him to back down, I said, I told you, you did not want to listen to me. I told you this thing cannot be accepted by the people of Kenya. So this argument that I only spoke after I left office is a fallacy, it's not true. I spoke from inside, and that is what precipitated my removal, because I was bringing oversight and sense, and starting with the people of Kenya from within government. And by the way, that is what the framers of the 2010 Constitution wanted. They wanted a deputy president who is elected and who can check a rogue president from within government. That was the intention of the framers of the 2010 Constitution. They did not expect a robot, an appointed deputy president like the one we have, who cannot say no to the president because he's his appointee. The framers of the 2010 Constitution wanted to bring oversight within the executive so that you have a president and a deputy who are both elected.
But
and since not both of them can go wrong at the same time, if one of them goes wrong, the other one can check him.
Hiyo ilikuwa kazi ya bunge. Tuko na makamati mbalimbali za bunge kuangalia jinsi executive inavyotenda kazi yake, mheshimiwa. Are you trying to rewrite what the constitution says in terms of its spirit and letter?
I am saying there is something called the letter and the spirit of the law. The letter is what is written. The spirit is the intention. Why did the framers of the Constitution want two elected people, one president and a deputy elected by the people? So that the deputy president has a voice because he is elected by the people. The current deputy president we have is a robot. He is somebody's appointee. There is nothing he can say. Everything is yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
You had said in one of the political meetings when you were still in good terms with the president that wewe ni mtu wake wa mkono, wewe ni Mr. Yes, sir.
I say yes on good things. I was prepared to be yes, sir, on what is true, what is good, what is constitutional, what is within the law. I had no problem. And for the good things that we were doing, I was supporting him 100%. But when he started abductions, extrajudicial killings, I said no. Okay. When he started demolitions and evictions, I said no. When he started theft of public resources, I said no. When he started misappropriation of public funds, I said no. I was prepared to be loyal, yes, sir, on things that are constitutional, things that are good, things that serve the people of Kenya, things that are appropriate, and that improves the lives of the people of Kenya. I was more than prepared.
Thank you.
The minute I realized that what was happening is not what is supposed to happen, I said no.
Kuna wakati ulikuwa kama naibu wa rais, wakati chama cha ama coalition ya Azimio walipokuwa na maandamano, tulikuona ukiraukia mapema sana kwa ofisi yako, ukicoordinate masuala ya kudeal with mambo ya maandamano, watu waliuawa, watu wakapigwa vibaya sana, mali ikaharibika. Was this part of the script of saying yes, sir, to the Mr. President?
I was not in charge of security operations. The way the security architecture works in
You chaired a meeting, Mr.
The way
Shima.
The security architecture works in
You chaired some meeting in absence of the president.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the way the security architecture works in this country is that the president is the chairman of the National Security Council. He also appoints all the security chiefs and they report to him directly. The deputy president has no say in security operations, except if directed by the president to carry out a certain assignment, or the president is out of the country and deliberately assigns the deputy some duties. That meeting I chaired that one day on a Sunday morning. We had gone to the airport and he was chairing the meeting. At time was going, he told me to continue with the deliberations. Okay. But all decisions on the crackdown on Maandamano were made by the president, executed by Kindiki and Rigathi. I was a bystander. Going to the office early in the morning was part of my routine. I used to go to the office every day at 5, whether there is Maandamano or no Maandamano. I have found some ODM MPs going to Nyanza to tell people that people were killed when I was deputy president. I was not president. I did not appoint the Inspector General. I did not appoint the director of the DCI. I did not appoint Rigathi. I did not appoint Kindiki. Those were appointees
kuna wakati ukasema kwenye kanda kwamba IG wa polisi wa sasa kijana kutoka kwenyu wewe ndio ulimpendekeza kwa rais.
Yes. But he is the appointing authority. You can recommend somebody, but he can take it or not take it.
So did you recommend the wrong person? Is that what you're saying? Do you regret recommending the IG?
No, I have no regret. What happened with IG is that the president decided to sack Kenoti, who was DCI. And I didn't have a problem with it or say because he is the president. And I demanded that if Kenoti is sacked, I need a replacement from Meru because that is a position the people of Meru were enjoying. And so Kome was identified and I took part in that identification. But I don't take responsibility for his actions. The fact that I said this guy is okay. But the appointing authority is the one who made the final appointment. I made so many other recommendations which he ignored. Yes.
Okay. Let's take some feedback here. We're about to take a quick break for the highlights here, but there's quick feedback. Ashley Dan says, shame on you, Ramogi, for inviting a tribalist for an interview. How will you shake off this tag of being a tribalist?
Well, to start with, if tribalism is speaking one's language, then Ramogi station should never have existed. Why do you call me to a tribal show?
We didn't call you,
But
you
you-
called
No, I'm
us.
saying why does this show exist?
You requested us to come
You
here.
No,
requested-
but why does it exist? Why does Ramogi exist?
You are being asked here that there's a tag for you being a tribalist.
What makes me a tribalist?
Shareholding conversation is one
But,
of them. That's a
Oburu
big
is talking about
conversation that's
shareholding.
happening.
Is he a
But let's
tribalist?
not deflect the question
No,
to
no,
other
no,
people.
no,
It's
no.
you who started this
Let me tell you,
conversation on
my
shareholding.
friend.
And people believe that you stand for the mountain more than any other reason.
Shareholding is part of the agreement between Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi and is signed by William Ruto. Does that make him a tribalist? Shareholding is part of discussion on political negotiations and is going on as we speak today. And there's nothing wrong with anybody saying, if we support you, this is our expectation. And that's what ODM is saying. And they are saying it so loudly. Why is that person sending you that message, not asking why Oburu and those who are asking for shareholding with Ruto are not tribalists?
Because we're speaking to you now. So is that the same arithmetic that
I am
you
not,
have
I am,
as
that
a
is a tag.
position?
That, let me tell you, that tag of tribalism has been pushed by William Ruto. But when I was supporting him, he never said I'm a tribalist. When my community was supporting him, he never said I'm tribal. My community and I are not tribal. Ask me why. In the last election, we had a candidate called Mwaura. We never gave him any vote. We gave 4 million votes to William Ruto and 1.3 million votes to Raila Odinga. I had the leeway to say I cannot support William Ruto because he comes from another community.
Okay.